Stop scrolling for a second. Seriously. Before you move on to the next video, ask yourself one question. Are you happy with the direction your life is going right now? Not where you want to be? Not where you hope to be someday? Right now, today. At this exact moment. Because if you're honest, most people already know the answer. Deep down, they know they're capable of more. They know they could work harder. They know they could be more disciplined. They know they could chase bigger goals. They know they could become a completely different person. Yet every day looks the same. Wake up. Scroll. Waste time. Make promises. Break promises. Go to sleep. Repeat. And the scariest part is that it happens so slowly that you don't even notice your life slipping away. One day becomes a week becomes a month becomes a year, and suddenly you're looking back wondering where all the time went. The truth is that most people are not destroyed by failure. Most people are destroyed by delay, by waiting, by saying, "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow is one of the most dangerous words ever created. Tomorrow has stolen more dreams than failure ever could. Tomorrow has convinced millions of people to stay exactly where they are. Tomorrow sounds harmless. Tomorrow sounds safe. But tomorrow is often a trap. Because tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Next month becomes next year. And before you realize it, the opportunities you once had are gone. Think about the goals you've been talking about for the last year. Maybe it's getting fit. Maybe it's starting a business. Maybe it's learning a skill. Maybe it's improving your finances. Maybe it's becoming the person you've always wanted to be. Now ask yourself honestly, how much progress have you actually made? Not how much you've planned, not how much you've talked about, not how much you've imagined. How much have you actually done? Because ideas don't change lives. Action changes lives. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants confidence. Everybody wants freedom. Everybody wants respect. But very few people are willing to become the person required to earn those things. They want the reward without the sacrifice, the results without the effort, the victory without the battle. Life doesn't work that way. You cannot build a powerful future while living with weak habits. You cannot expect extraordinary results from ordinary effort. You cannot become someone different while doing the same things every single day. Everything changes when you change. Read that again in your mind. Everything changes when you change. The world is full of people waiting for motivation. They're waiting to feel inspired. They're waiting to feel confident. They're waiting to feel ready. The problem is that readiness rarely comes first. Action comes first. Nobody feels ready to start. Nobody feels ready to take risks. Nobody feels ready to leave their comfort zone. The people who succeed aren't fearless. They simply act despite fear. That's the difference. The average person waits until they feel confident. The successful person takes action and builds confidence through experience. Confidence isn't something you're born with. Confidence is earned. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, confidence grows. Every time you do something difficult, confidence grows. Every time you refuse to quit, confidence grows. And every time you break your own promises, confidence disappears. That's why so many people struggle with self-belief. They've spent years proving to themselves that they can't trust their own word. They say they'll wake up early. They don't. They say they'll start exercising. They don't. They say they'll stop procrastinating. They don't. Eventually they stop believing in themselves, not because they're weak, but because their actions and words never match. Imagine how powerful you would become if you simply started doing what you said you were going to do. Imagine waking up every day knowing that your word means something. Knowing that when you make a promise to yourself, you keep it. That level of self-respect changes everything. Most people spend their lives looking for secret formulas. They search for shortcuts. They search for hacks. They search for easier paths. Meanwhile, the truth has been right in front of them the entire time. The secret is consistency. That's it. Not perfection. Consistency. The person who works out 3 times a week for 5 years beats the person who works out every day for 2 weeks and quits. The person who reads 10 pages every day beats the person who reads 100 pages once a month. The person who improves 1% every day eventually becomes unstoppable. Small actions seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they become life-changing. Every giant tree began as a tiny seed. Every successful company began as an idea. Every champion began as a beginner. Nobody starts great. People become great. The question is whether you're willing to go through the process. Because the process is not glamorous. The process is waking up when you don't feel like it. The process is working when nobody is watching. The process is staying committed when results aren't visible yet. The process is continuing when quitting would be easier. Most people fall in love with success. Few people fall in love with the process that creates success. That's why most people never achieve their potential. The greatest tragedy in life is not failure. The greatest tragedy is potential left unused. Imagine reaching the end of your life and meeting the person you could have become. The strongest version of yourself. The most disciplined version of yourself. The most successful version of yourself. The version that chased every opportunity. The version that never gave up. The version that pushed through fear. The version that refused to settle. Now imagine standing face to face with that person. Would they be proud of the choices you're making today? Would they recognize your level of effort? Would they admire your discipline? Or would they look at you and wonder why you never tried? That's a painful question, but it's an important one, because every decision you make today is creating the person you'll become tomorrow. Your future is not being built someday. Your future is being built right now, with every action, with every choice, with every habit. The life you want isn't far away. It's hidden inside the things you're avoiding, the workout you keep postponing, the book you keep saying you'll read, the business you keep saying you'll start, the skill you keep saying you'll learn, the conversation you keep saying you'll have. Growth lives on the other side of discomfort. Always. The reason most people stay average is because they spend their entire lives avoiding discomfort. They run from difficult conversations. They run from challenges. They run from uncertainty. They run from failure. But everything worthwhile requires discomfort. Strength requires discomfort. Growth requires discomfort. Success requires discomfort. Transformation requires discomfort. There is no way around it. You either choose the pain of discipline or you suffer the pain of regret. And regret is always heavier. Years from now, you won't regret the workouts you did. You'll regret the workouts you skipped. You won't regret the chances you took. You'll regret the chances you never took. You won't regret trying and failing. You'll regret never trying at all. Failure is temporary. Regret can last a lifetime. That's why today matters. This hour matters. This moment matters. Because while you're watching this video, time is moving. The clock isn't stopping. Life isn't waiting. Every second is a second you'll never get back. Every minute is a minute you'll never recover. Time is the most valuable thing you possess. Not money, not status, not followers. Time. Because you can always make more money. You can always rebuild success. You can always start over. But you can never get your time back. That's why successful people guard their time so carefully. They understand its value. They understand that every day is an opportunity, and opportunities don't last forever. The good news is that your life can change much faster than you think. One decision can change everything. One habit can change everything. One action can change everything. History is filled with people whose lives changed because they finally decided to begin. Not because they had perfect conditions. Not because they had unlimited resources. Not because they knew exactly what would happen. They succeeded because they started. And now it's your turn. Not tomorrow. Not next Monday. Not next month. Today. Because the perfect moment doesn't exist. The perfect conditions don't exist. The perfect opportunity doesn't exist. What exists is this moment. Right here. Right now. And what you do with this moment will determine who you become. Years from now, you will either be grateful that you started today or disappointed that you didn't. The choice belongs to you. You have greatness inside you. You have potential inside you. You have strength inside you. You have more capability than you realize. But potential means nothing without action. Dreams mean nothing without action. Goals mean nothing without action. Everything begins with action. So after this video ends, don't just feel motivated. Don't just feel inspired. Do something. Take one step. Make one decision. Start one habit. Move 1 inch closer to the life you want. Because one day or day one, you decide. Welcome to Rise Forg. This is where excuses end. This is where discipline begins. This is where greatness is forged. Your journey starts now.